The news dropped like a bomb on Monday, January 5th. Manchester United sacked Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, after just 14 months.
It's a decision that it screams chaos at the very top of world football.
It's so much more than just another coaching change, isn't it? If you look at the numbers, this is their 11th manager in 12 years.
Since 𝗪𝗁𝗏 left.
Exactly. That revolving door, it's not just bad luck. It points to something structurally broken at Old Trafford.
It's costly chaos. And that is exactly what we're going to dive into today. For you, the listener, we want to make it clear this isn't just about bad results.
No, not at all.
We've dug through all the source material to really get to the heart of the conflict, that aha moment that actually doomed Amorim. We're going to break down the, frankly, shocking financial cost, the short-term plan to stop the bleeding, and, most importantly, the very specific, almost corporate criteria the new owners, 𝗍𝗍𝗋, are using to find his long-term replacement.
And that's the key word, corporate. The sources lay out a really clear conflict. It's the old world versus the new, the all-powerful manager against the modern, compliant head coach.
And it was a fight that Amorim clearly lost?
Decisively.
Okay, let's start right there then. The anatomy of this failure. Because it all comes down to that single distinction, manager versus head coach. What does that actually mean at a club like Manchester United?
Well, it's the whole identity of the club, really. For decades, under Ferguson, the boss was the manager.
He was the king.
He was everything. He controlled training, tactics, who they signed, the academy, the whole 9 yards. Amorim wanted that. He wanted that traditional total control role.
But the new structure doesn't allow for that.
Not at all. The new CEO, 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝘀, and the director of football, Jason Wilcox, they only want a head coach. They want a guy who just focuses on the first team, on tactics and training, and who, crucially, reports up to them. The sporting department is now in charge of strategy.
So why did he think he could challenge that? I mean, he must have known the structure when he signed the contract?
I think he just fundamentally overestimated his own power. He thought his record at Sporting CP and, the sheer weight of being the United manager would let him bypass the new guys.
And we saw that explode into the open right after his last match.
Well, yeah, that 1-1 draw with Leeds, the press conference afterwards was just incredible.
It was pure fireworks.
He deliberately used the platform to, reassert his title as the club's manager, not coach. And then he just went for it. He openly attacked the scouting department and the sporting director.
He told them to do their job.
He did. Quote, to do their job. I mean, that is a declaration of war on the very people who hired you. In this new corporate 𝗍𝗍𝗋 structure, that's a fireable offense. Right there.
And firing him comes with a price tag that is just mind-boggling. Let's talk about the money. The cost of just 14 months of this philosophical clash.
The numbers are hard to wrap your head around. The total cost of the Amorim experiment from when he started in November 2024 is around £27 million.
27 million.
That's his salary, the huge release fee they had to pay Sporting to get him, and now the compensation package to get rid of him.
Just to put that into perspective for you, £27 million is the transfer fee for a top-class young player.
It's a starting right back. It's a defensive midfielder who could have actually improved the team.
Instead, it's just money thrown into a bonfire for a failed experiment.
And it's not even the final number. His current compensation package for the rest of his contract until 2027 is another fixed $10 million on its own.
It's just staggeringly expensive instability.
Yeah.
So were the results on the pitch at least good enough to justify some of this drama?
Not even close. I mean, his win rate across 63 games was deeply worrying. 24 wins, 18 draws, 21 losses.
That's a 38.0% win rate.
Abysmal for Manchester United.
He did get them to a Europa League final, though. That was a high point.
It was, and it showed a glimmer of what could have been. But domestically, it was a total disaster. He oversaw their lowest ever Premier League finish.
15th place.
15th. Now, they'd clawed their way back up to 6th when he was sacked, but the damage was done. The internal feeling was that things were rotten.
And that rot went beyond the league table, right? It was about his entire approach.
Oh, absolutely. The sources all point to this incredible tactical rigidity. He was obsessed with his 3-4-2-1 system.
No matter what.
No matter what. The players didn't fit, the results weren't coming, and he just would not adapt. He refused to change formation.
That's a classic problem with dogmatic coaches, but it went deeper, didn't it? It went to the core of the club's identity, the youth academy.
Yeah, and that's heresy at Old Trafford. He was openly criticized for downplaying the academy, and apparently his comments about both the senior players and the youngsters were just very underwhelming. He wasn't inspiring any belief
So the final nail in the coffin, the real sign that the board had completely given up, came with the January transfer window.
Exactly. The window opens, he gives them his list of targets, and the hierarchy just flat out refused to sign anyone. Because they knew he was on his way out, and they realized if they bought a bunch of players specifically for his rigid 3-4-2-1 system, they'd be completely hamstringing the next permanent manager.
It was a self-preservation move by Wilcox and Barada?
It was a sign that they had mentally moved on from the 𝗪𝗻 project months ago.
Okay, so that covers the crisis, the cost, the causes, but the season's still going on. They can't just stop. So let's look at the immediate plan, the short-term containment strategy.
The first stopgap was immediate. They put Darren Fletcher in charge.
Former player, current U18 coach.
Right. He took the team for the Burnley game on Wednesday.
Which ended 2-2, predictably, maybe.
Maybe. But Fletcher was really quick to make it clear this was not an audition for him. He said the role was beyond his wildest dreams, but that he's not after the permanent job.
So he's just a temporary fix. He'll take the FA Cup game against Brighton and then step aside.
Exactly. Because the longer interim plan is the really interesting part. The club has said they will appoint a longer-term caretaker until the summer.
Which makes sense. It gives Barada and Wilcox time. They can't afford to rush this next big appointment after the £27 million mess they just made.
They absolutely cannot.
And the strategy for this interim manager is fascinating. It's not about tactics. It's pure nostalgia and emotion.
It is. And the leading candidate is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Of course it is.
He's been out of a job since leaving 𝗏𝗏𝗃 last August, and the sources are saying talks are already advanced and really positive. He's apparently ready and willing to come back.
But just to steady the ship.
Purely to stabilize things. His appeal is obvious. First, the fans love him, so that immediately calms down the toxic atmosphere.
And the senior players know him. They support him.
They do. But most importantly, he gets the United way. He's not coming in to start a tactical revolution. He's a cultural stabilizer. He is the perfect person to just, soothe a very bruised squad.
It's the smart, low-risk move. It gets the fans and players on side for the next 6 months.
Totally. I mean, they're looking at others like Michael Carrick and Ruud van Nistelrooy, but Solskjaer just ticks every single box for that non-threatening, unifying presence they need right now.
Which brings us to the big one, the long-term vision. The search for the permanent manager for the 2026-27 season. This is, probably the biggest decision Ineos has made yet.
It really is. And it's not about finding the biggest name. It's about finding the best fit for their machine.
The head coach.
The head coach. The Ineos criteria are laser-focused. They need someone who will work happily within that new structure under Wilcox and Barada.
And the attributes are very specific.
Very. Proven Premier League experience, ability to make an instant impact, can handle the media pressure.
Plays good, attacking football.
Right. And, crucially, a genuine trust in young players, which is a direct reaction to one of 𝗪𝗻's biggest failings.
So based on that very specific checklist, one name seems to be rising above everyone else.
Oliver Glasner. Currently at Crystal Palace, he's the undeniable top target.
And his track record is actually very impressive.
It is. He won the FA Cup and Community Shield with Palace, which is huge for them, got them into Europe. And before that, he won the Europa League with Eintracht Frankfurt. He's a proven winner.
But it's more than the trophies, isn't it? Why is he such a perfect fit for this new United?
It's his pragmatism combined with, again, financial efficiency. Now, he does often use a back three system, which might sound worryingly like 𝗪𝗻.
Right, the rigidity.
But he's not rigid. Glasner is known for being flexible. He'll change his pressing style. He'll go long if he needs to. He adapts mid-game. All the things 𝗪𝗻 refused to do.
In the financial side.
This is the clincher for Ineos. Glasner's contract at Palace is up in June 2026.
So you'd be free.
No compensation fee needed. After burning £27 million on the last guy, getting your number one target for nothing is, it's incredibly appealing.
It perfectly fits that new philosophy. Structural alignment and fiscal responsibility over a big, expensive name.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's talk about the more high-risk, high-reward option. Someone who knows the new bosses very well. Enzo Maresca.
Maresca. Yeah, recently sacked by Chelsea. He's a fascinating case because his tactical ideas are brilliant.
He's a Guardiola disciple. It's all about that positional play.
It is. And for anyone listening who just thinks that means passing it around the back,
it's not that.
It's so much more. It's about controlling space. Every single player has a specific role to make sure the team is always perfectly balanced, whether they have the ball or have just lost it.
Inverted fullbacks, total possession dominance.
All of that. And he did win trophies at Chelsea, and he knows Wilcox and 𝗏𝗏 from their time together at City.
That seems like a really strong case for him.
Oh.
So what's the hesitation? Why are the sources saying the club is cautious?
It's the 𝗪𝗻 problem all over again. Maresca has a history of clashing with the boardroom. That's a big reason why he ended up leaving Chelsea. So United's leadership, they are terrified of repeating that exact mistake. If your number one priority is a coach who fits the structure, a guy known for challenging authority is a massive risk.
Even if his football is potentially brilliant.
Even then.
Then you have the elite proven winner, Thomas Tuchel.
Tuchel. United met with him back in the summer of 2024. They know him, they respect him. He guarantees trophies.
There's a problem.
A big one. The timeline. He's managing the England national team, and he's committed to them through the 2026 World Cup.
Which means he wouldn't be free until late July, maybe even August of 2026.
Exactly. You'd miss almost the entire preseason, the most important time for a new coach to implement his ideas and work on transfers. It's a huge disadvantage.
Probably too late for a club that needs a complete reset.
I think so.
And we should quickly mention the other names that fit that United way mold.
Yeah, you've got Kieran McKenna, former United assistant, doing amazing things with Ipswich, brilliant with young players. He has those internal connections.
And Gareth Southgate.
Southgate has links to 𝗍𝗍, but there's a real fear among the fan base that his style is just too pragmatic, too safe. It's not the swashbuckling, attacking football they demand.
So all these different names are all being put through the same filter.
Yep. Not, are you the next Sir Alex? But, will you be a compliant, high-performing asset for our corporate structure?
It really is a different club now.
Completely.
So before we wrap this up, let's just step outside the Old Trafford crisis for a second, just to see what stability actually looks like at another top club.
It's a great contrast. If you look at, say, Bayern Munich, they're not in crisis mode. They're doing calm, long-term planning.
With the Dayot Upamecano contract talks.
Exactly. He's close to signing a new extension, a big pay rise up to $20 million a year.
But the really interesting part, the part that shows the difference in thinking, is the structure of that new deal.
That's the key. The new contract is expected to have a $65 million release clause in it. But, and this is the important bit, that clause only becomes active in the summer of 2027.
So they're protecting their asset for the long term.
They're locking him in, securing his value, and setting a clear price and timeline for any potential future sale years in advance. It's the absolute opposite of the reactive, expensive chaos we're seeing at United.
And that brings us right back to the main takeaway. The search at Manchester United is not for the best manager, it's for the best head coach.
The one who will fit the system. The new regime under Wilcox and 𝗏𝗏 has to get this right. They cannot afford another failure on the scale of the 𝗪𝗻 era.
It feels like 𝗪𝗻's sacking just confirms it. The era of the all-powerful 𝗪𝗁𝗏𝘀 style manager is dead at the elite level.
It is. The power has shifted. It's now a corporate-controlled head coach model that values efficiency and stability above all else.
So here's the final thought for you to chew on. If the club does this, if they prioritize that structural control and financial efficiency, if they hire Oliver Glasner, the free agent, the safe choice, does that guarantee the stability they're so desperate for?
Or does that very corporate approach risk killing the soul of the club? Does it alienate the fans and the legends who demand that aggressive, charismatic, risk-taking spirit of the true United way?
It really is a choice between structure and soul.